Our CPD series is an ongoing programme for continuous professional development in the webinar and the virtual classroom area. It's a great thing to go on a training course. It's a great thing to be teaching yourself. But this is about focusing on making sure you carve out time for your skill development. We have a live session every month. We're going to be doing that. There's also going to be resources from us exclusive to CPD members and a forum for asking questions and getting advice from it. And this is where we start handing over to our CPD series members. In our series, this is where we would be getting people to do the activities. Maybe they have expressed an interest in getting hands-on and getting some feedback.
I know Joe said I had 4 or 5 minutes, and I think actually I've used up that time. So I'm just going to end here, but thanks very much everybody for your participation.
Oh, Chris, thank you. Chris, how did that work for you?
It did work quite well with a whiteboard, but because of the fact that people write over each other, it becomes a little bit difficult to follow. That's the only thing. But I think it'll be interesting to hear from the participants' viewpoint about how that felt. For me, it feels more stressful to have the whiteboard because it's all over the place, and the chat box is very clear to see. But I'd be interested to hear what everybody else is saying.
Laura says, love the exercise. We would only use whiteboards with much smaller groups. Yeah, we have got 17 of you here today. So it's at that point where we're in kind of webinar territory when they do get a little bit busy. But as Paul says in the main chat window, it's flexible. You can move the ideas around and you could perhaps vote on them using ticks and stars and things like that. So you can really build up what you're using. Laura Overton says, love the whiteboard. Are you able to create flow in the answers once they're all on the board? Laura, can we get you unmuted and see if we can expand on that a little bit more about what you mean and what you're thinking? If you can't, we can just use that main chat window.
Okay, so, you know, I love conversation in this, and I also love to spot patterns. And for me, the whiteboard, I think, is really exciting. You've got a lot of interesting things. I'm just wondering, how can you then move around and say, actually, look, there's a clump of things are all in the same pattern here, and there's a clump that are all in the same pattern there, because I think that really helps to consolidate lots of ideas into things that people can remember and take away. And I just saw the whiteboard as having a great impact for that.
That's absolutely brilliant, Laura. I love that, and I know how good you are with Gail says, circling your favourite answer on the board. Love it. Stella says, what about creating a mind map on the whiteboard and ask people to contribute? Worth an experiment. I think that's a great idea, Stella, and that's the whole point of these sessions, is that, you know, if we had a more open session, as we will do when we run the series, we'd probably go, great, Stella, let's bring a whiteboard up, let's go and make it, let's try it out. Chris, let's come back to you on that feedback on that activity and how you delivered it. What are you thinking about that?
Well, I was interested actually, because I think it was Laura said that it just left her cold, this activity, or this, you know, doing a whiteboard and stuff, and I feel quite similar in a lot of ways, because I'd have preferred to do the chat box. But what's encouraged me is actually seeing here how you can move the text around, and also about how possibly I could have done it differently by getting people to circle and stuff like that. So I think it's given me some better ideas and a bit more confidence about if I have to do another webinar and I do a similar activity and there isn't the options for multiple chat boxes, that I could think of different ways of doing it.
We've had some lovely feedback from you. Thank you very much, and hopefully that's given you a flavour for what's going on.